Hi everyone, welcome to today's craft program. My name is Dabney. I'm the young adult librarian at Twin Lakes and I use they, them pronouns. For today's craft, we are going to be making shrinky dink charms. So if you've never heard of shrinky dink, it is plastic, so you can color on these, cut them down to the shape you want, bake them, and then they shrink down in size. So you can buy this from Hobby Lobby. And let me show you some that I've made. So if you watched our Monday video, I talked about Maggie Stiefvater's books, and so I thought it would be cool to make charms of the book covers. So here we've got the Raven Boys, and I did a little charm incorporating the raven and the ley line symbol. You can kind of see it in light gray. Doing this project, I kind of learned that certain colors, once they shrink down, the color becomes more intense. Like this green, when I colored it on the sheet, it was very light, but once it shrunk down, it got pretty dark. So that one. Then we've got Sinner. This is book 4 in the Wolves of Mercy Fall series. That is the little charm. So you can kind of get an idea of how much this shrinky dink shrinks down, because I just traced directly from the cover and it became like this small. And honestly, these are kind of large for like a charm bracelet, which is what I'm going to put them on. But if you are the type to wear necklaces or earrings, they might work for that. So we got all the crooked saints. This one is the largest charm, and I really like how this one turned out. With shrinky dinks, you can also use these as like stained glass if you wanted, which I might do, or ornaments. Shrinky dinks are really versatile. And then finally, the Scorpio races. This one, I didn't stick with the color scheme of the book. I kind of wanted to do sort of like rainbow colored charms. So I did this one like a dark blue, and it's really hard to see the horse against the dark blue. Like if you hold it like this, you're like, what is that? So I might like outline it in white or something, I don't know, or leave it as it is. So we're gonna go through the craft now, and we are going to be doing a charm for Call Down the Hawk, which is book 1 of the Dreamer trilogy. And I'll just say, I'm using a toaster oven today because I'm at work, and I didn't have like a glass tray that would fit in there, so I just have a sheet of tin foil, which I was using, and this has already been used, so it's not flat, and it's got texture, which I would say, if you're doing this at home, use parchment paper or use like a fresh sheet of tinfoil that's straight and not crinkly like this, because my charms, the back of them have like, they're not flat. They've got this like crinkly texture. It also makes the edges sharp. So I'm gonna have to go through with like some sandpaper or something and like file down the edges, because right now, yeah, it's pretty rough. I don't mind that it's kind of warped looking, but if you want your charms to be completely flat, you'll need to do that. And I'll have some instructions in the video notes if you're like, Dabney, you're going too fast. Alright, so we're going to turn this down and get started. I'm using the Rough and Ready texture. There's a clear texture you can use as well, but I just like this kind. So just quickly going through and tracing the hawk on here. When doing shrinky dink charms, just be aware that the little details can get lost when you're tracing. Like it might look big now, but when you shrink it down, they can be lost. So now I'm gonna do the eye, which is like this bright orange. And this is a little detail that might get lost in the thing when we shrink it. Okay, and then it's kind of hard to see with the rough and ready, but I'm gonna try to get some of these colors in here. Because I want it to be like, all right. So going like that. Okay, so now we're going to color it in. And it doesn't have to be, perfect. One thing you can do is you can blend colors with your Sharpies. I'm not going to do that because it can potentially, like, mess up your original Sharpie to where, like, that color, like, if you're doing it over black, the black can get incorporated into your Sharpie and kind of mess it up, so it's not going to be, like, perfectly orange anymore. But that's something you can do. Let's see. And then we're going to do some gold to fill in these spaces. I really like this color Sharpie. And this is not a take-home craft, in case you're wondering. That was last week when we did the pony bead lizard. So far we have 2 take-home crafts. The sushi and the candy sushi and the pony bead lizard keychain. You can still sign up for them on our website to get one. I also was saying, like, if you wanted to do the pony beads, you can come by the Hancock branch and ask me to, like, let you pick out the bead colors you want if you don't want to fill out the form online. And our next take-home craft is going to be a cooking one, so stay tuned for that next week. Alright. Also, when you're coloring, try not to see, like, you can get the color on the side of your hand and accidentally spread it around. So just be aware of that. Okay, almost done coloring. Then we're going to trim it and bake it. As I mentioned, I'm using a toaster oven because I'm at work, but you can bake these in a regular oven at home. So you set your oven to 325 and, like, preheat it. And then you bake your shrinky dink for 1 to 3 minutes until it flattens out. And then you wait 30 extra seconds and then take it out and, like, let it cool before taking it off, your tray. So it is recommended that you bake it on, like, a glass tray or dish, or like a clean pan. But be sure to put down parchment paper or a sheet of tin foil so it doesn't stick to, whatever pan you're using, because that has happened to me before. I was like, I don't need to do this like parchment paper. I don't have any, so I'll just stick it on directly onto the pan, and then it got stuck on there. Not forever, but so yeah, it's always good to follow directions. Okay. Let me just color this right here, and now we're going to trim it. Let's see. I think I was gonna do a circle. For this. I guess I really didn't need to go coloring all this side, but so we'll just trace a circle and cut it out, because I had you know, 3 rectangular charms and 1 circle. Alright, so this is what it looks like. So you're going to cut around it. And then you're going to want to use a hole punch to do a hole on here. So we'll do one here. You want it kind of like that against the edge. This is so we can put a charm through here. Alright, now we're going to bake this over here in the oven. So I've already set it to 325, and this is my sheet of tinfoil we're using. So we're going to lay this down in here. And I'll show you all. Let's see. Alright, so I put it in there. And hopefully it'll start curling soon. I didn't have it preheated, so it's kind of just sort of heating up now. But let's start the timer. Okay, there it goes. You can see it curling up. And hopefully the sides won't stick together. Sometimes that's happened to me. Okay, now it's flattening. So it's been in there like less than a minute. This toaster oven is amazing. When I do this at home in my oven, it never really goes this quickly. And it could be because I've been putting them on like a thick glass like casserole dish, and it might just take it longer. So we'll leave it in there for about 30 seconds, and then we'll take it out. But you can see, just flattened down really easily. Okay, hang tight. Let me grab this out of there. Ooh, I think this might be my favorite one so far. So let's see if it's ready to come off. Still pretty soft. Okay. So I'm going to flatten it with a book for a minute so it'll flatten out. And for charm bracelets, I didn't really have a good bracelet to work off of, so I'm just going to do this. And I've already put the little circles on here. So let's see. While that's flattening, I'm just going to open this and see how this works. I'll probably do something a bit fancier later, but I just kind of wanted to have something ready to go. Yeah, I don't really like how that's working. Maybe we'll just forget about the safety pins. That's what these are called. I don't really like the way that's working. Anyways, you can attach these to a charm bracelet. Okay, let's. Ooh, this is definitely my favorite one so far. Get that through the light, or maybe not. So if you're wondering how to make this into a charm, let me show you. Got our little tools and our little metal circle. So grasping it with both of these, you just kind of pulling it apart. Like so, like twisting it open, and you want it enough so like this will fit on there like that, and then you pull them back together, and your charm is good to go. So then you can put this, on a charm bracelet, put it on a piece of, necklace. I'm not sure, whatever you want to do with it, but those are our charms. I am so excited. Let's see them all together. I'm going to lay them on the table so you can see. I just really wanted to do sort of a rainbow. Like that. So, this one. This one, I really kind of want to redo it and do like a light blue color instead of this dark blue, because that is just way too dark. Alright, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. And also, if you ever want to come make some crafts, you can come to the Hancock branch, use our makerspace. We have all these materials that I used today, except for the toaster oven, but I can always borrow it. So, bye y'all!